Today I'm going to be talking about my experience as someone with Aspergers and the world of employment. So, as you know, having Aspergers and fitting into the real world do not mix well, really. And yeah, because of this, it's the world of employment has just been an extreme struggle, to be honest. Education, I managed to education, I managed to get a second class degree. I worked very academically well when it comes to high school, but arguably circumstances wasn't really on my side back then. So yeah, I managed to finish education degree, which I never thought I would get. And finish uni. I didn't bother going to my graduation because I didn't like uni. Didn't have a social life there at all, really, so I didn't bother. So, yeah, even now what? I had a lot of student loan left. It was COVID. I graduated in 2020. So I thought, I've been in education for nearly 20 years. So I had a year off, I had my savings. That year, spending very carefully, and I managed to have money until about probably 8 months after graduating, to the point where I had to go on universal credit, and all that was new to me. I didn't really know what I was doing. Going to the job centre was seen as something that people with no qualifications go to, so at the time I was quite probably snobby against it, thought I was above it because I had a degree, and I thought, no, this ain't right. I should be getting a good job to give myself a nice middle class life out of this, but how naive was I? That's not the case. Degrees these days do not fucking guarantee you work. Like to blame the system for failing, as people with degrees, today's people that come from working class families manage to get a degree these days, but I think that's part of the problem, to the point where it's unemployment. But I kind of believe, like I said in previous videos, Asperger's is easy to blame everything on, but maybe it is the case. My Asperger's, my confidence, we're not up to it, because I would have worked for 5 years prior to getting universal credit like what most normal people do. And I'm not a normal person. Not really. Ended up on having to do universal credit, and I've been on universal credit for fucking 5 years because 2 years out of uni I didn't really do anything and I got mentally ill. Ended up losing the plot. I got sectioned. I was showing symptoms of psychosis. Things were getting to my head. I was believing people were watching me through the TV and people were in on it. That's led me to having to move out. I'm now in supported living where I get 16 hours support a week. And it's either that or being homeless. And a life of being homeless does not suit me at all. Option and possibly going on the housing list and getting a job, but I don't think I'm really in the right frame of mind to do that. Getting ill, leaving hospital, I thought it was a kick up the arse, thinking, right, I need to get myself a job. I need to get myself a job. Running before you can walk, because I was at 25 and I still never had any form of proper work other than maybe, and that's just not in this normie world. Few places. I was emailing multiple people since leaving uni. I've been emailing people, but you typically get no reply when it comes to emailing people. So there's just no fucking point. Trying to look for work, trying to run before I can walk to the where support workers explained, yeah, if you get a job it'll ruin your benefits or you can only do up to 16 hours support. So I thought, right, I'll do it, I'll get a voluntary job. And I think naturally Oxfam came to mind because I was thinking of doing that when I was still in college, when I was still a teenager, which I probably should have done, or at least when I was in uni I should have done something like that. I thought I'd get a voluntary job at Oxfam. It was okay. Got me involved with some of the people were nice that I worked with, but it was something that interested me enough to keep me there. And really, I think the people make the place. The people that you're surrounded by makes the place that you work, or if you join a club, it's the same thing. It's about the people. The people were fine. I got on well with my manager, but she left, so maybe if she stayed, I might have stayed longer. But she left, and I thought, I think I've done my bit. I can shove it on my CV, look for something else. After that, I was trying to look for more voluntary work, and I started to realise finding a voluntary job's pretty fucking hard. It's nearly as hard as getting a job possibly. Probably not quite as hard because there's less of the bullshit. When it comes to volunteering, it's either working in or a soup kitchen, stuff like that, or the stuff involved with the arts. And I'm an arts guy. I did art at college. I did animation as a degree. I was very much a creative type of guy. I was interested in the arts. I had a deep fascination with it. So I thought I'll work in the theatre because one of my support workers who's quite into that sort of thing explained, oh, if you work in a theatre, that could lead to a job like, I don't know, doing lighting or stage setup, production setup, all that sort of stuff. Nothing creative came on board, but I just wanted involved with something, so I thought, right, I'll just do front of house. So yeah, I'm doing a front of house job at the minute. I'm not getting paid, but it's in an area where didn't that I have is becoming an actor. I wanted to be an actor since being at college. I thought, right, maybe I should have done acting instead of doing art. My interest, and I think doing volunteering at a theatre, doing front of house, is maybe perfect way of observing, getting your foot in the door. Might not guarantee you work as an actor, but you're surrounded by actors, you're surrounded by creatives, people in the theatre industry or the amateur dramatic theatre industry. You got connections, and they might have connections to the professional world. So I think that's a perfect way to observe. But on the plus side, I'm getting relative experience with working in front of house, customer service, working with people. There's a bit of bar support work. It's not exactly bar work. You're serving pizzas, you're dealing with members of the public, and I think that looks good on your CV. So I thought, for now, this is a pretty good gig for me, but I don't think I'll do it forever. Eventually I want to do something a bit creative, but I think the way of doing it, I have to start building the confidence to start asking people about that, which I will do eventually, I think. Really, I just do personal projects. I make electronic music. Um, I used to do a bit of art. I've done a bit of graphics work, graphic design work for a YouTuber. So my CV, because still this stuff I've done prior to volunteering. So yeah, that's a bit about my experience of the world of work, or the closest thing to the world of work. For me, as someone with Aspergers, to talk about, I might make a part two on this, but so if you have that where you are struggling for work, like, and you're on benefits because of like a disability or something, I think I suggest volunteering. I think it's quite limited with what's out there. It depends what you're interested in, but I quite highly suggest it, especially if you're creative, because you can work in art galleries, theatre. I think if I do something else, I'd want to work with animals or something to do with nature or outdoors. So I think that's something I'm going to think about. But again, I think I'm notoriously picky when it comes to stuff. It's just, I can't help it, really. Probably the Aspergers again. It's an easy thing to blame it on. But I've missed anything. But two at the minute. Wish I did is when I was at uni, I think I should have done some extracurricular stuff. Like, yeah, you can join societies. I should have volunteered with something to do with my uni because I think universities usually do support that. But I think clearly back then I weren't in the right frame of mind to do that kind of stuff. So that's one of my big regrets because I think you can do stuff like university radio, something like that. I think you have to pay each year to do it, but it's something worth doing. I think radio, music, that's something I'm massive on. So that's one regret. But yeah, just I think if you can't get a job if you're young and you experience, I think volunteering is a no-brainer really. If I've got anything else to say, I might make a part two, but yeah, catch you in another video.